What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Coordinating. Did you ever notice like how the woke crowd always ends up outing themselves as like the exact thing that they pretend they're fighting against? You know, they'll make like, they'll go there, have their old tweets kind of resurface, and they'll have like terrible things that they've said about a group of people, or they'll treat a group of people like they're less than. Or in this particular case, journalist Annie No, he's basically universally maligned by the worst kind of people in the world. So generally when like awful people hate somebody, they're probably like somebody you want to pay attention to. And he got popular reporting on the movements and actions of these super soldiers. And he has had many physical altercations that he was on the receiving end. Andy is not a large man. We've had situations, I believe, in Portland where the super soldiers jumped a guy for just being Asian because they thought he was Andy No. Well, now we have a journalist for Slate, and Daily Beast and a bunch of other far left websites essentially admitting that he screamed at some Asian guy and told him he was a garbage person because he was sure it was Andy No, except it wasn't Andy No. And he basically just outed himself as being a racist. I mean, I assume he's saying that all Asians look the same. And the backlash has been spectacular. Meet Thor Benson, writer, featured in The Daily Beast, The Atlantic, Rolling Stone, NBC News, and Business Insider. You could have also said featured in all the worst leftist trash on the internet. You write about politics, tech, and science, but you really just want to write about politics. I'm certain of that. So a blue checkmark with 52,000 followers tweets this out the other day. Well, I wonder if he deleted it. I wonder if he actually deleted it. Oh, here it is, April 8th. Currently has 3,000 replies and 1,000 likes. I just ran into Andy No at a bar in New Orleans. I politely told him that he's a garbage person. LOL. Except it wasn't Andy No. You can see Lo Ping here saying, I seriously hope you made this story up for clout because this is you right now. And we have the old eyes, the eyes meme if you haven't seen it. Then we have, I hear that you're racist now, Thor. You could see, I have to say it's kind of weird that you watch so much that you could pick up some obscure person out in a crowd. I'd say less than 1% of people have ever even heard of him. You need a hobby or a girlfriend. So let me get this straight. A bearded, balding white man shouted at a random Asian in a bar, and somehow you think you're the good guy in this exchange. Again, this is somebody who is a journalist. And here's Joe Colangello. He's a CEO of Boxcart Transit. What an incredible self-own. Try being kinder to random Asian people if you can't tell them apart, Thor. Oof, oof. You are so stunning and brave. Weeps into my soy latte. I guess all people look alike to you. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, and then his entire feed is full of massive copium. Okay, so this was April 8th. It's just surfaced, so it happened yesterday. And now he's just been getting ratioed on everything. He's trying to put out a bunch more tweets so he can bury it. Then he tweets out, hello, Andy No supporters who are trolling me. You could come here to be blocked. Cope, here's Sticks Hexenhammer. You aren't being trolled. You're being ridiculed for being a bigot. And Andy No's response, of course, Thor writes, Thor Benson, a white freelance writer, thought he found me and instead harassed a random Asian in New Orleans and made him leave a bar. Benson's followers said that the man should have been assaulted. At Tracy Connor, I'm assuming this is, okay, editor-in-chief of the Daily Beast, and this person is the editor-in-chief at Pop Science and Fortune Magazine. Are you okay with your contributor doing this? Now, I am not a fan of tagging their bosses in. Like, I know that some people will say, like, well, that's the tactic that they use and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's a little weird. Then you see some of these replies. Should have clocked him. Why? Because he on the what the super soldiers are doing. Wait, is he still there? Let me know where, so I can too politely tell him something. Thor writes, he just left. I think my comment made him nervous. LOL. An accidental elbow to his grill twice would have been fitting. He also writes then he also tags in the Asian American Journalists Association. Thor Benson, a freelance contributor at the Daily Beast, Pop Sci, and others tried to racially profile me in public and instead ended up harassing a random Asian person. Benson announced this proudly, and his followers urged him, for people to raise hands to the man. Again, true. Again, Andy, I like Andy. It's just, I don't know. I don't like tattling to the bosses. But anyway, then he writes, a senior editor tags Slate. Jordan Weissman was among those who liked Thor Benson's tweet announcing that he had harassed a random Asian person in New Orleans, thinking it was me, and then tags in the CEO of Slate, which has a whopping 900 followers. Are these the values of your publication? Hashtag Stop Asian Hate. He writes, would have been more convincing if you hadn't responded when I called you by name. I was at a dive bar and he came in and started talking to people, and I put my hand on him and said it, and then went out for a smoke. I don't think so. Now you agree that you put hands on him. This is this is the lunacy of these, it's like when you normalize putting your hands on someone for them having opinions you don't like, this is what you get. I don't know if you're new to this channel, but this is like the second time this has come up in a couple days. There is a guy who didn't like my YouTube videos and bravely at 2:00 in the morning was attacked me from behind like a true hero. He ended up, of course, having very bad consequences of that. But again, I had never had any personal interactions with this person. He just didn't like my YouTube videos, and it ruined his life. So, but this is but he was celebrated by the Magic community when it happened. When I was playing Magic the Gathering, people celebrated it. Thought it was awesome. This is what happens when people spend too much time online and LARPing. It all started when a blue check writer, this is via Twitchy, blue check writer who lists his work as having been published in the Daily Beast, The Atlantic, Rolling Stone, and other outlets, tweeted this claim yesterday. Journalist Annie No says that's a nope. He wasn't the person Benson claims to have found. And then, do their publications have values? In any case, the writer in question was sticking to his story. We see kind of cataloged here. Twitchy is good for this. A number of people who would not have responded in any way. 0. You harassed a random Asian person. Do they all look the same to you? Look, you could tell somebody that they're a garbage person. That's fine. You have that right, to say it, but you did then admit that you put your hand on him, which you don't have the right to do. And quite frankly, it's a shocking admission that you think all Asian people look exactly the same, because that's how it looks. That's how it looks to me, right? 10% chance Thor harassed a random Asian person. 89% chance he saw a random Asian person, thought this, then tweeted that he did it, meaning he never did it. 1% chance this actually happened. It's these lunatics you know, they think that this is some sort of own or some sort of, it's not okay. And like, these are the people who still have institutional power. These are the people that can cancel, you know, that constantly get YouTubers demonetized and all this type of things. The guy is a clown, and it's not, I mean, if I were his boss, he wouldn't be working for me anymore. Again, I don't know about taking them all in and kind of demanding action, but hey, this is what they do, and he's just using their tactics against them. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.